For sure, and it's been great so far, making me want to start doing it. Hey, I recommend it. Can't say I've ever had a bad experience doing it. In 700 rides, can't say I've met a bad person. I've met a lot of weird people. Most of those are just your quirky weird people. It's more fun than anything. I mean, it adds a little entertainment to your day. Might get to hear about some conspiracy theories, stuff like that. Meet you halfway. Whereabouts are you again? Have we already talked about that? I have offered anyone in like continental U.S. If they're in a state where it's legal to hitchhike, I wouldn't mind showing someone the ropes and going for like a 100-mile kind of trip somewhere. And maybe that's an awkward offer, but you have to understand I'm a hitchhiker. I'm perfectly comfortable just with randomly meeting people anywhere. So hopefully that's not an uncomfortable request or like offer to make. In Oklahoma working right now. Hey, it's legal in Oklahoma. Just saying. I'm not sure on your gender. 2 guys is slow. 1 guy, 1 girl is quick and safe. 1 guy, like what I'm doing, can be quick. It really depends on how you present yourself. Just try to look friendly, try to look clean, try to look presentable. 1 girl is really quick. You just have to exercise a lot more caution, like really screen your drivers before you get in. Like I talk to everyone before I get in, I'll say a sentence or 2. I refuse to just hop in a car as soon as they pull over. There's still a decision to be made when someone pulls over and this is essentially saying, you can't have a ride. I still have the option to say, I'll wait for the next one. And for those of you that have been watching since day 1, have seen me do that. Had a weird guy that came in or pulled over, picked me up. I opened the door, asked, hey, how's your day going? Looked me in the eyes like, do you want to ride or not? Nope. No, I do not. I did, but now I don't. And the funny thing is, I've never gotten a worse vibe from someone than that guy, and that was my first day of live streaming hitchhiking. And I thought that was hilarious that my first day of live streaming, he pointed. I got like the guy that I just got the creepiest vibe from ever. But essentially how that ended is, this isn't word for word verbatim, I said, based off of how this interaction has gone, I'm going to wait for the next ride. Thanks for stopping, have a nice day. And if you do want to see that, there's videos up there. It would be day 1, ride 2 or something, day 1, between ride and 2. So there is video record of that too, if you want to see what a creepy interaction could be. I don't think I showed his face, because I asked for permission before I film a person. I just had the camera at my side, but you can still get the audio from that. So yeah, what happens when someone pulls over, I open the door, hey, how's your day going, kind of qualifying them, make sure I feel comfortable with them as a person. And then I ask, hey, I'm recording this, I'm live streaming this, however I want to say it. Is that something you're comfortable with? And I've lost 3 rides because people aren't comfortable being filmed. Honestly, I thought I'd lose more. I thought I'd lose about 25% of my rides because people wouldn't want to be on camera. So I'm surprised with how few have turned down, drivers have turned down the ride because of the camera, but it's been good so far. Yeah, lots of people, just local. Once I go much further that way, I'm just going to lose signal. I guess I should explain to people that are new viewers, kind of the methodology. There's 2 different methodologies with how you want to hitchhike. One is people that say, why would you stand still? We might as well walk. in the direction you want to go. And that makes sense. Like, I'm standing still, I'm not getting anywhere. The thing is, especially on highways where, well, you leave town and it picks up the highway speed. Maybe you're on a road like this where it gets really windy, and on those windy roads they have no shoulder. So again, the three things I look for is slow speed, long line of sight, and a wide shoulder. And once I walk out of town, I'm going to lose all three of those. It's going to be fast traffic, no shoulder, and windy roads where, you know, you're hitchhiking on a corner and you throw your thumb out, and by the time someone actually sees you, they're already past you. So I subscribe to the method of find a good spot where people can see you, where they can safely pull over and wait there for a ride. Get dropped off. If it's not a good spot, find a good spot. Then wait there, find a ride. That's my method. There's no one right way to hitchhike, but that's how I do it. Let's do a trip sometime. You're thinking Thailand? Yeah, I'd like to go to Thailand. I did Vietnam last year, with all my point stuff that you know about. But yeah, I'd like to hit up Thailand. I haven't really done, Emma Hellos, thanks for following the channel. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I haven't done any hitchhiking in like Southeast Asia. I hitchhiked in the Asia part of Russia and Japan. I'm curious how it would be in like a place like Thailand. So maybe while we go there we can do normal travel stuff, but also I'd try a little hitchhiking. Not in a weird way, bro, but if you ever plan on going through Oklahoma, let me know. That's not a weird way thing at all. You know me, I meet random strangers every day. I have no problem doing that. I'd love to come say hi, come meet you if I'm going through Oklahoma, which there's a decent chance I will be because I'm trying to hitchhike through as much of America as I can, so that'd be cool. Siberia? Yeah, I hitchhiked through Siberia. You know that Devonte. You know my history. I worked with you for a year. Same with Nebraska. Sounds good to me. I'm gonna have to take notes because I have a really bad memory. But I have to like keep tabs of where I've got viewers that have offered, you know, to meet up, because I'd love to meet some of the viewers. I think that'll be amazing. People that found me on the internet, and I can hitchhike my way to your, maybe not front door, but a coffee shop near your front door, and come say hi. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah. Taylor Ann, Autofire. I'd love to meet you guys. Tulsa, Oklahoma rather. Okay, Tulsa. Alright. If there's no traffic coming up, I'm gonna write Autofire, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Taylor Ann, Nebraska. Because I'm gonna forget otherwise, and that's not a reflection on you, that's a reflection on me and my memory. And just, I'm all over the place when I'm traveling. Nepal, yeah, that would be really cool. I'd love to do some trekking in Nepal. I think that would be amazing. Like, just some amazing landscapes there. One of my ex-girlfriends went there for a month or two, and she really enjoyed it. She volunteered at an orphanage there, or a school, and she had a great time. I'd love to go there. I'd like to do some, not ultra high altitude mountaineering, but some high altitude trekking. How long does it usually take you to get a ride? My average wait time is in the 15 to 25 minute range. We're already at that kind of point now, but when I say that, that's kind of like your median average. It can be anywhere from 0 minutes, like I'm not even hitchhiking and someone's like, hey, what are you doing? Do you need a ride? And I'm like, yes. And all the way to, my longest wait is 8 hours out of Fort Nelson, northern BC, on my way to Whitehorse. So That's the range I've experienced. But if we look at it in total, it's like 20-ish minutes, which we're at like right now. So. But we could be here for another hour and I wouldn't be like, oh man, why is no one picking me up? That's just the way it goes. When you're hitchhiking this much, you're just dealing with like raw statistics. Given enough cars driving past, eventually someone will pick you up, but you just never know when. Little dog, Cov. Thanks for following. Then maybe transition to India. I would be interested in checking out India as well. Seems like an interesting place. There's really few places I don't want to go. I think pretty much everywhere in the world has something to offer that as an outsider you could learn something from, or it would be a valuable experience to have. But I have learned from hitchhiking across Russia that you miss out on a lot of what you experience from traveling if you can't communicate with the local population. I couldn't speak Russian, they couldn't speak English. You miss out on some things. Because like we've kind of said, or I've said, one of the things I like about hitchhiking is the people I meet and the connections I make. And if you can't talk to someone, you're gonna miss out on a lot of that. Ezra Maddock, thanks for following. Then maybe Madison, Wisconsin. All over the place, guys. I like it. And you know what? We could even do, like, if this continues going well, and it's gone really well so far, like, I'm gonna do Hitchhiking America, and then I think it would be amazing to transition into Hitchhiking Europe and, like, go around Europe again. I hitchhiked around it for quite a while in 2015, but I'd love to go around it again. So we don't have to limit this to America as well. That's just where I'm starting. It's not necessarily where I'm finishing. But I've had a great experience with this so far, so as long as I'm still enjoying myself, you guys are still watching, and I still have money, I'm gonna keep going. Damn 8 hours. Yeah, that was a rough one. That was in February in Canada too. I was hitchhiking up to Inuvik, Northwest Territories to do some ice road hitchhiking. Because that sounds fun, doesn't it? Parents backpacked in India for 3 months and said it was incredible. Did we talk about that when your parents drove me to Kelowna that one time? Did we talk about their traveling? I never talked to your dad about like the point stuff, traveling and stuff like that. I really liked your dad. Or, sorry, I forget your family dynamic. Was that your like dad or stepdad or stepmom? I forget the dynamic. That was your mom's boyfriend. Sorry, I forgot the family dynamic, and I apologize for that. But you only know French. Let's stop by France real quick and meet some girls. Well, you got to do all the talking for me because I don't know French. I'm a bad Canadian. We're supposed to be bilingual, so I'm not. What did you do before hitchhiking? I am, surprise, surprise. It's actually surprising because I think it's a weird combination. I'm an accounting major. I was doing my Bachelor of Business Administration with a major in accounting and finance. And now I'm hitchhiking. Probably the first hitchhiking accountant you've met. That's my past. All good. I don't think you've met my dad, maybe one time when he came to our store. Yeah, I forget off the top of my head, but yeah. But yeah. I think it'd be fun. I've never actually done a trip with someone, like a real trip. It's always been me traveling, but yeah, I think it'd be cool. And for those of you that don't know, Spooky Bong in the chat, me and him worked together for a year when I lived in Calgary, Alberta. I worked for a year saving up money and just living in Calgary before I went on some more trips. And me and Devontae worked together selling outdoor gear and equipment at Out There Adventure Center. So, good friend. hopes that we know each other well. Yeah, that's dangerous what you're doing. You might think that, but I can tell you from being picked up 700 times in 25 countries that it's not as dangerous as you think it is. And the whole purpose of this channel is to show people what hitchhiking is actually like, not what media or your parents make it out to be. Because I think it's a very different experience from what you might think it would be. How did you get started hitchhiking? What made you decide it seems like a good idea? First time I hitchhiked was because I hated the Greyhound bus. I'd take the Greyhound like once a month from Kelowna, British Columbia to Vancouver, and then take a ferry to Vancouver Island to see like my girlfriend, my family, my friends, because they were all on the coast and I was in Central. And it was 6.5 hours on the Greyhound to get to Vancouver, then an hour and a half on transit to get to the ferry terminal, then an hour 45 on the ferry to get to Vancouver Island, and then another 50 minutes or so on transit to get to Victoria. So, one time I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna hitchhike. I made a sign that said Vancouver, free cookies, and a smiley face. I got picked up in 20 minutes, and this person just happened to be going right to Victoria, so he drove me all the way from Kelowna, British Columbia to Vancouver. We picked up his girlfriend in Vancouver, drove to the ferry, drove me onto the ferry, drove me to Victoria, drove me to my friend's front door in Victoria, and since then, things escalated quickly. Things escalated very quickly. I had a great first experience with it, and I kind of went all in on it. I sold my car. I stopped going to school. I didn't want to be an accountant at that point in my life. So, yeah. That's illegal in the US. If you read down below, there's a section on legality of hitchhiking in the United States where you can click on the link or copy and paste the link into your browser above, and it will give you more detailed explanation of the legality of hitchhiking in the United States. It's illegal in some states, it's not in others. I understand why you'd think that, but that's not the case. Was it expensive for me to travel? No. When you're hitchhiking, transportation is free. It's the whole point of hitchhiking. And I sleep in a tent, so accommodation is free. So it's really just food, incidentals, and entertainment, which, depending how cheaply you want to live, can be pretty cheap. So that's one of the reasons I've traveled so much, is because I travel by such a cheap means. Oops, sorry guys. Why don't you just fly? Because flying's, like, I like flying, I like being in the air, but you know what? If I want to get, say I'm right here, and I want to get to New York City, I could fly and be there in 5.5 hours, or I could hitchhike there in 2 weeks, get picked up by 40 really interesting, like a variety of people, have a lot of cool experiences, like be invited over to different people's places, like, it turns getting from point A to point B into its own adventure where you, like, yeah, it's an adventure. I meet a lot of cool people, I have a lot of fun, and you know what? I feel like I've achieved something when I get somewhere. If I pay $300 for a flight to New York, I've paid $300 to get from point A to point B, and I get there, and that's great. I made it to New York. That's fun. But if I hitchhike there, I feel like I've accomplished something. Why don't you do like a motorcycle trip? Because I enjoy hitchhiking. I like the dynamic of it. I like the social aspect of it. I'm seriously hitchhiking because I enjoy it. That's why I'm doing it. That's really the extent of it. Or get an RV. Again, one, can't afford that, and two, I like hitchhiking. Sleeping Bear, thanks for following the channel. Hope you're enjoying yourself so far. Hopefully we'll get a ride pretty soon, and you'll see what kind of people we get picked up when we're hitchhiking. And I have no idea what type of person that's going to be. You see the whole range of humanity. It's interesting. don't have a job. I quit my job before I go traveling. So I had a job, then I decided to go traveling, so I quit my job. I saved up money. I have money saved up for the trip. But I always start my trips with money. I can finance it myself. At any point, if I really want to get home or needed to get home or anything, I can buy myself a flight home. How I travel, money isn't that much of a problem. I just can't afford to be sleeping in a hotel every night, or renting or buying an RV or a motorcycle or anything like that. There we go. That's a ride. We'll see if she's okay with the camera. And then we're gonna lose connection, but that's okay. Hey, sit in the back seat? Yeah, that's fine. Whereabouts you headed to? How far is that?
Well, the next stop is Willits.
Willits? That's where I'm trying to head to, yeah. Now I'm recording the process of hitchhiking through a live stream. Is that something you're comfortable having in your car? I won't, yeah, I'll be in the back seat, so I'll kind of just point it at me if that's okay with you. Yeah. Oh. Beauty. And we're gonna lose connection really quick because on this road.
I just called in place in Willits.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, let's just weasel this in here. It's a big bag. It's a heavy bag. Canada. Really? Yep.
His girlfriend, she's in the fashion industry. He's done so much travel, he's actually lived in
Really?
an island.
A cave on an island. Doing it. Those of you watching, I'm just going to restart the stream with a much lower resolution because pretty much instantly we're going to lose connection. Right. Sorry I lost everyone for a while. I'm back now. I'm live again. And I am alive. We just 100% lost connection. And I just ended the stream until we got to a place where there was better connection. So I'm back now and I'll be hitchhiking. Continuing south. I actually could have gone further with her all the way to Santa Rosa, but I didn't. I'm not trying to get places quickly. That's several towns. That's like an hour and a half that way, the way I'm going. But I'm not hitchhiking trying to get somewhere. I'm hitchhiking for the sake of hitchhiking because I enjoy it. As weird as that is. So I'm back. When I left off, things were going good. We got hosted with a bunch of people, like a 60-person host. Never had, so we had like 50-something people in chat. Never had that many people show up to check out Hitch Live, so that was exciting. I just got dropped off a little bit. I should be on the on-ramp, because, which I'll show you guys in a second, but Highway 101 has changed. Highway 101 has grown up, has matured into a real highway. And with a real highway comes a bit more selection process. It's a bit of a different method to it. And it's still the same thing where I pick my spots and I stay there. I'm not gonna walk down this highway and like walk for miles and then hopefully someone picks me up. I'm going to find a spot and hitchhike there until someone stops for me, and we'll see what we get. But yeah, back to hitchhiking. It's gonna be up here that I'm gonna hitchhike pretty soon. Just getting into position. The sad thing about this it's going to become less of a problem as we go forward, because we're getting more into more civilized or like developed places, so that also comes with a more developed cellular network. Is we'll build up a decent stream going with viewers and chatting and stuff like that. I get picked up, you get to briefly kind of see them, what that's like, and then we lose connection. And then X amount of time later, I sign back on, and we do the same thing all over again, starting from 0. And we just do that a few times a day. Now it looks like south of here, things get a bit worse on connection, but enough that we'll be able to actually have a semi-stable stream, and the towns aren't that far apart. And I'm going to show you what kind of highway it is now. But yeah, Highway 101 has grown up. Highway 101 has become a real highway. No longer a little baby, 1 lane this way, 1 lane that way highway. It's a big divided 2 lanes that way, 2 lanes that way, with a grass median there. It's a proper highway. So that's the situation. I'll be hitchhiking somewhere up here. I'll be posting up pretty soon. Maybe I'll fly my Canadian A sign. I'm not sure yet. It is hard for people to see your signs when you're when they're going full highway speed, which is here. I've kind of told you, we're in Willits, California, just outside Willits, California now. Big Willie, hold up, we gotta talk. You told me to go to Fort Bragg, and I went to Fort Bragg and you were never in chat. Wait, you're in Fort Bragg? Because I was just there for a day, and I kept bringing you up. I'm like, Big Willie tells me I have to go to Fort Bragg. I'm going to Fort Bragg, but I don't know what I'm going here for. I did like the coastal walk and everything like that, but you were in Fort Bragg and I was in Fort Bragg, but I didn't know that you were in there. I just thought you're like, oh, you gotta go to Fort Bragg. I'm like, sweet, I'll go to Fort Bragg. And I went there and I checked it out. Oh, okay, just Fort Bragg's super nice. Okay, you're in Sacramento. Fort Bragg is just super nice. It was super nice. I did the coastal walk there and went to the Glass Beach and stuff like that, and it was actually really nice. So good recommendation. Thank you for the recommendation. The ride I had actually could have taken me all the way to Santa Rosa, another hour and a half that way, I think. But that's not what this trip's about. This trip's about hitchhiking and enjoying it, catching short rides, meeting new people. That's what this is about. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh yeah, I guess I should do a spot analysis for you guys. Maybe I want to go a little bit further. No, but then it's in the shade. Yeah. One sec. There's just lots of cars. I'll talk about the spot in a second. No, I think I should go a little further forward. Yeah, that's a better idea. Get people coming on the on-ramp a little sooner, but still catch everyone driving on the main drag of the highway. Which I'll show you in a second. And there's still lots of room to pull over. Alright, I'll show you guys what we're looking at. I'll spin her around. Alright, so here's what we're looking at. Going around Sacramento. Yeah, I looked at a map, and yeah, Sacramento's a little bit east of where I'll be headed most likely. So as we can see, there's a main 2-lane highway coming towards me, and a feeder on-ramp coming towards me as well. And here we go. So essentially right here we've got 3 lanes, but right after me it turns down into 2. and there's spot to pull over. So we're totally missing that one of the things, the slow traffic. Speed limit 65, right? This is full highway speed. If you get any closer, give me, let me know and I'll give you a ride. Hey, that'd be really cool. I've never met one of my viewers yet. That's actually really cool. Like Santa Rosa, kind of close. As we're still far from Sacramento. I don't want to make you drive too far. It's a long ways. So yeah, we've got a shoulder. We've got a long line of sight. What we're missing is the high speed. And there's just nothing you can do about that when you're on a highway, so, or on a highway like this at least. So, like I guess what I could do is I could hitchhike on the top of this on-ramp, which is kind of where a lot of this traffic's coming from. And at the top of the on-ramp, you're gonna catch people before they really speed up. So that would be another method. You can either be kind of at the end of the on-ramp, like here, where I'm catching both the traffic already on the highway and the traffic coming on the on-ramp, or you can be at the top of the on-ramp. You miss out on the traffic already driving down the highway here, but you get the people on the on-ramp before they actually pick up speed. It's a whole lot mentally easier and physically easier for people to pull over if they're only going 20 miles an hour compared to 65, as that sign says. I don't know if you can read that, but it says speed limit 65. So it's full highway here. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'd be really cool to meet you. So if I get closer, I don't want you to drive very far out of your way. But I think it'd be cool to meet one of my viewers, and we kind of do a little stream if you're comfortable with that. If you're not, I get that. Trust me, I thought it was weird being in front of a camera when I started doing this. So yeah, that'd be neat. Especially for someone that is a regular like you. And it's funny that I already used the word regular. I've been streaming, this is day 11, but I've streamed 10 of these days. I've streamed for 10 days and I have what I'd call regulars, which I think is really cool. So, thank you for sticking around and being a regular at Hitch Live, where we hitchhike around America, meeting people, doing things, seeing stuff, hiking along beaches apparently, all that, and more. Yeah, the last stream I had earlier was great. Got hosted for like 60 people, so we had like 50 people in the chat for a while. It went down to like 40-ish, but like lots of people, new people talking, people questioning about hitchhiking, saying it's dangerous and stuff, which I welcome. I wanted to be able to like Discord, like people questioning what you're doing, asking questions about it. That's what I want to have. So it's good that there's new people in there questioning what hitchhiking is, what it's like, all that. I like it. It might be better to hitchhike on the top of this on-ramp. The vast majority of the traffic is coming off this on-ramp rather than on the highway itself. Which I can show you guys again. So, sorry, what we got here, yeah, is you can see the on-ramp and it merges into the 2-lane highway going this way, right? And the thing is, it seems like 90% of the traffic is coming from the on-ramp. So I might as well focus on being the best kind of target to people hitchhiking or turning onto that on-ramp. So I think I might walk up and catch only the on-ramp traffic, just because when they turn off, they're going to be still going really slow. I think when I saw it still has a decent shoulder up there, and then you just walk down the on-ramp enough so that they have a few seconds to think about it. So then you're kind of hitting all three kind of things you're looking for out of a hitchhiking spot, where right now I'm hitting shoulder and line of sight, but people are going a decent clip when they pass. 65 speed limit, which we all know means add 10, because no one drives the speed limit. So, yeah, judgment call. I might do that. Like the on-ramp traffic's steady enough that I might do that. Because by the time they get to me right here, they're already going highway speed, which is what the on-ramp is designed to be. They should be going the same speed as the flow of traffic on the highway by the time they get to me. That makes for safe merging. That's what they designed them for. Which means all my traffic is going quite fast. I think, yeah. Based on the traffic I'm seeing, I think that's what I'm going to do. There's enough traffic on the on-ramp that I'll be able to catch a ride. Yeah, I made it. I survived. But actually, I'm gonna switch locations. This place is okay. I'd get a ride here eventually. I'm just gonna go somewhere with slower traffic. It's a lot easier for people to pull over if they're not going 100+ kilometers an hour. Because by the time they reach me on the on-ramp, they're already going fast, and everyone already on the highway is going full highway speed. So again, this isn't an interstate, so it's still legal to hitchhike on this highway. It's just a real highway now, as you might be able to tell. Highway 101 has grown up. As we've moved south, it's gone from a 1-lane in each direction highway to a 2-lane in each direction with a full divided median. So they grow up so fast. Hopefully this ridge, this stone wall here won't block my signal too much, but we'll see. Yeah, it's been a really good day. That hike in Fort Bragg was gorgeous. The sun was out for all of that, and then it got cloudy as I was hitchhiking out of Fort Bragg, but that was fine. Thanks for the stream, it's amazing. Thank you. That means a lot to me to hear the people watching the stream say that, so I thank you for saying that. Makes me feel good, makes me want to continue doing what I'm doing. So, you say thanks for the stream, I say thanks for watching. Because you guys watching and chatting really does make my hitchhiking experience significantly better. I really like it. So if you keep watching, and keep chatting, and I'll keep doing this. So if you like it, there'll be a lot more to come. So I'm just walking up the on-ramp right now to catch traffic when it's going a lot slower. I spent 10 minutes maybe hitchhiking on the highway itself, and just based off of the traffic numbers and the speed of the highway, I feel like it'd be I'll catch a ride quicker, even though I'm foregoing the traffic that's already on the highway by being on the on-ramp only. I think there's just a much higher chance of someone deciding to pull over if they've just turned onto the on-ramp and they're only going like maybe 20 miles an hour. And they'll still have time to see me and make that decision, and they'll have you can see a very wide shoulder to pull over on. So I'm trying to knock off all those boxes on the 3 things I look for in a hitchhiking spot. It's a long on-ramp though, but that's kind of why people were going already highway speed by the time they got to the end of the on-ramp, because it's a long on-ramp. I'll just turn around. So this is where I'm walking right now, just to the bottom of this on-ramp. I was at the top of it, or I guess it really depends how you look at it. I was at the end of the on-ramp, now I'm going to the start. How many miles have you gone today? It was only, I think it was 33 miles from Fort Bragg to Willits. She could have taken me all the way to Santa Rosa, like another hour and a half south, but that's not what I'm hitchhiking for. I'm hitchhiking for fun. I'm hitchhiking to meet new people, like get lots of short rides. That's why I'm doing it. So I voluntarily got out of the ride an hour and a half early because I wanted to do some more hitchhiking. And people are like, well, why don't you just fly? I'm telling you, I'm voluntarily hitchhiking because I enjoy it, so... Oh, there's another person walking. This is strange. I didn't expect to see a person out here. I'm not going to point the camera at them because they might not be on camera, but I didn't expect that. I don't know where she's going. It's in a highway on her. It's just a girl. Okay, but this is where I'm gonna do my hitchhiking regardless of that weird... I don't think I've ever seen anyone else on a highway on route. It's a strange place to be. Because we're outside of town now, like... There's no reason to be here. Unless you're hitchhiking. So I wonder what her story is. She didn't look very happy. She looked rather upset, actually. So I hope she's okay. I'll do a spot analysis in just 1 second. Here we go. So as you can see, this is what I see. So people turn right from here, or they come left from over there. And as you can see, as this truck, I'm not going to throw my thumb for this, I'm just analyzing. They've got quite a bit of time to look at me. And then this is what the spot looks like behind me. Plenty of room to pull over. In my opinion, this marks all the... I guess the only thing could be that it's not the longest line of sight. Like, they're going really slow, so they have quite a bit of time to make up that decision. But there's better situations as far as line of sight go. But traffic speed's ideal, shoulder's ideal, everything's ideal except for the line of sight. So I'd rather be here than at the end of the on-ramp where everyone's going highway speeds. But yeah, really happy with the weather. It's gorgeous, and there's a nice moderate breeze that just keeps me at like the perfect temperature. I can't ask for any better weather than this. I feel like this is like Mother Nature making up for the first 9 days I had on this trip, where it was rainy, windy, gross every single day. Do you listen to podcasts? No, I don't, but I've heard of some really great ones, and I'd like to check some out. I just don't really have much time to listen to podcasts right now. But if you have some podcasts you'd like to recommend, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. I don't think it'll take too long to get a ride out of this location here. It's pretty steady traffic, and I'm in a good spot, so. It's kind of funny, the right-hand turn onto this on-ramp here, which you see a car doing right now, is actually just gentle enough of a turn that when you turn your right signal on to signal that you're taking that right turn, when you correct it, it doesn't reset. So most people are like driving down this highway, going up to highway speed with their right signal on, because the turn didn't reset it for them. I don't know if that's funny, but I thought it was funny. Just from my point of view, everyone has a right turn signal. Which in my mind, if someone drives past me with a right turn signal on and there's no right turn behind me, it's like, ooh, they're gonna pick me up. Because they're signaling that they're about to pull over. But that is not the case. The right turn signal just hasn't turned off. Hey, Devante. How's it going, my man? You're off work now, aren't you? I lost connection between towns, is what happened, and that happened almost every day. But I think as we're heading south now, as you get further south in California, it just becomes more developed. And I think I didn't get bored of her, but I did get out of the car voluntarily. She was going all the way to Santa Rosa. I just want to do different kinds of hitchhiking. I'm not going for distance, I'm going for in and out of rides, meeting new people. So that's what I like. Heard Calgary drivers is pretty bad, is that true? Yeah. Well, I spent a year living in Calgary. You know, they're not that much worse than anywhere else. You're gonna have your shitty drivers, you're gonna have your good drivers. And, you know, I say that, and I think maybe I have that, maybe a lot of people think they're really bad in Calgary. But I've hitchhiked in 700 cars and I've been with some really bad drivers. So that kind of just like gives me a better, like, I don't know, opinion on the drivers in general. Because I'm like, yeah, that guy did something kind of stupid, but it's not as bad as this dude that I was driving with and felt terrified for my life with. So maybe they suck. I just ignore it, I guess. Deal with it. Good karma, man. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. Could use some good karma. I try to be like as respectful to everyone, to nature and everything as I hitchhike along. So I hopefully, if karma is a thing, I do have good karma, because I try to treat everyone with respect, and I try to treat nature. Everywhere I'm camping, everywhere I'm going, with respect. I'm never littering. I'm never cutting stuff down. I'm never burning a bunch of stuff and making a big burn spot. No, try to treat it with respect. Who was the worst driver? Probably the guy in Poland that just drove into the oncoming lane, regardless of if there was oncoming cars, and was just expect them to swerve around me. That was terrifying. Wabanut. Thanks for following the channel. Hope you enjoy your time here. Oh, lots of traffic. We are getting, it's 4:15 here, 4 p.m. So people are starting to get off work, which in theory isn't the best time. People commuting home from work just seem to not pick you up as much. It still works, regardless of where you are, what time you're doing it, what you look like, anything. Eventually someone will pick you up. There's just things that you can do to increase your statistical chance of each car actually being willing to pick you up. So hitchhiking around rush hour, like evening rush hour or morning rush hour, I found makes it a bit tougher to find a ride, because people are just heading home or just don't feel like really picking people up, and people heading to work really don't feel like picking people up because they're probably running behind and they want to get to work and they don't want to be late for work. So but you didn't drive around Calgary much. I risk my life every day. Well, I did. I didn't drive myself, but I had a girlfriend and she drove me everywhere. Thank you. I'm not gonna name her, but at the time I had a girlfriend and she drove me around everywhere. Thank you. So I did drive around a lot, and honestly, she was probably a pretty crazy driver by most standards. But we did okay. You feel like you're risking your life. Which part of Calgary are you in? Oh yeah, no, I know where you are. I went to your house. And you knew who I was dating too. You met her. You've been to her house. So I forgot who I was talking to. I know you. You know me. I've hitchhiked through the United Kingdom. I've hitchhiked through Wales, England, Scotland, Orkney Islands, Shetland Islands. Never had a problem. Albeit I got dropped off in an illegal spot and I got picked up by the police once. But with the people themselves, never had a problem with hitchhiking in the UK. So you might think that, and most people, regardless of where I go, people be like, oh, you're hitchhiking. I don't think people around here are gonna pick you up. But sure enough, they do. Because you're white? Like, maybe it makes it easier. I didn't, choose to be white. I'm just born this way. I'm just doing my thing, regardless of what I look like, regardless of the way I was born. It's actually a pretty nice spot. I like it. It's a good day. It's a good day. A lot of fun today. UK is racist? Yeah, I can't comment on that one way or another. I just don't have the experience to give my view on it there. Probably pull up my pants though. I'm not big on the whole sagging thing, but probably lost some weight on this trip. My third belt loop is feeling a little looser than it usually does. Dang. I don't need to lose weight. I'd much rather stay at the weight I was or gain weight. I'm just always eating at a caloric deficit while traveling, so never eat enough. Albeit, if you look right there, in that bag is half a burrito. We stopped for burritos really quickly. Yeah, last time I was streaming, before I got in the car, we were in full HD, 720p. That's not full HD, that's just regular HD. 720p, 2500 bit rate. Network here might be able to support that actually right now. I'm just gonna keep it at 480, 1500 and see if it's able to maintain that. See if, and you say that, and then people in America think that they're kind of stuck up and selfish, or like people around them are stuck up and selfish. So it's just kind of like wherever people are from, a lot of times they just think the people from there are, as you say, stuck up and selfish. Could really use a shower and a shave though. It's been a few days. I try to keep myself looking clean cut and stuff like that, but they're getting a little ragged. So, hopefully soon. I don't think I smell too bad yet, though. Not at that point quite yet. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. Hey, Zane. How's it going, my man? Good to see ya. Would a man with a beard have a harder time hitchhiking? I'm guessing they would, yeah. People look older, they look more mature. with a beard. Like, I don't know if you've had a friend that's like grown out a beard and then they shaved it and it looks like they've decreased in age 10 years. They look like a baby after they shave. Yeah, you're better off looking like a baby than a manly man with a beard. There is a certain amount of, well, a lot of hitchhiking is about presenting yourself well. Albeit, no matter what you look like, so eventually someone will pick you up. I guess I should clarify, a lot of hitchhiking efficiently or quickly is about presenting yourself well. Because no matter how you present yourself, no matter how you look, how big and mean you look, eventually someone will pick you up. Given enough cars, someone's going to pick you up. It's just might take longer. I'm getting less hand signals here. Although, like, we're on the on-ramp to the highway, so you can't really be like, I'm going local, because once you drive up there, you're on a closed-off highway, and you have to take an off-ramp to get off the highway, so it makes sense that people aren't showing me short hand signals and stuff like that, like they were in my last location. Because when you're on a closed-off highway, you're going a decent distance, for sure. What's the paper bag on the ground? That's a burrito, my man. There's a burrito in there. I'm just letting it sit there. I couldn't eat it all because my stomach is incapable of eating a lot of food when I'm on a trip. It adapts to not being fed very much, and I just can't eat very much. So I ate 2/3 of a burrito, but I saved the rest for later. Americans in UK who are homesick, not a fan of UK cold-hearted culture. Yeah, that's very possible. I guess with hitchhiking, it's just like the people picking you up are very generous. So they're going out of their way to help someone out. So that kind of gives you a specific like subculture within the culture of the UK of people that are extremely generous and welcoming to strangers. So. Again, that wasn't my experience, but that might just be based off of how I was traveling, hitchhiking. You might have a different experience in a country than I might have hitchhiking, so. If it weren't for the stream, what would you mind me wandering on? Just question, I don't know, I'd be like humming a tune or just thinking about stuff, thinking about what I want to do, what I want to eat. Honestly, like I'm good at just entertaining my brain. I'll kind of just like zone out, but still be interactive with the drivers and stuff like that. I'm good at keeping my brain occupied enough that I don't feel bored out of my mind. So, hey, I got one of, whoa, Wisco Mike, $20. Thank you for the generous donation. First contribution to the cause. Wow, man. You know, that's more than a day of travel. Like, well more than a day of travel costs. That's extremely generous. Thank you for the donation. Wow, that's great. I appreciate it. It's awesome. When you're alone, I tend to solve problems and issues probably more active than when I'm with people. Yeah, like if I have any problems to work out, when I'm hitchhiking, there's not that many problems I'm facing. I face my problems like as I get there. Like you know, someone drives you there, it's nighttime, you get dropped off in the city, that's a problem. You're in a city by yourself with no place to stay and not very much money. What are you gonna do? You have to problem solve as it happens. So I'm just trying to like mentally clear my mind when I'm hitchhiking. There's not that much emotions going through my mind. Like some people hitchhike and they say they get frustrated when people don't pick them up. I have no problem with people not picking me up. There's a lot of reasons to not pick up a hitchhiker, so yeah, I don't get angry, I don't get annoyed. I'm just pretty chill when I'm hitchhiking. Valor, TM, thanks for following the channel. Hopefully you're enjoying the content I'm putting out. Hopefully we'll get a ride soon. You're gonna get to meet a new driver, get to know a bit of their story, where they're from, where they're going. Yeah. But yeah, and Wisco Mike, thanks again. That's crazy. Like $20 keeps me going. Like that's a. I don't spend that much money. That's a lot of money for as far as traveling goes to me. So thank you. Need something to call your following base? I probably do, don't I? Any suggestions? Rather than just calling you viewers. Yeah, it would be nice to have something a bit more personal. No problem, man. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and it might be Summit City Live. You're not getting picked up because all they see is a stranded person talking to himself. Yeah, this stuff might hinder me with some rides, but it also helps me with other things. People get curious with this setup. Man, you see this little fuzzy thing? That draws a lot of attention. Also the big stick with a battery on it and stuff like that. It draws attention. So for a lot of people that'll deter them. For other people that'll attract them. I have the same view on people hitchhiking with dogs. A lot of people are not going to pick you up because you have a dog and they don't want a dog in the car. But some people are going to pick you up just because you have a dog and they love dogs. So there's positives and negatives to having this. There's positives and negatives to a lot of things as far as helping or hindering you. Hitchers? I don't know. Yeah. Invest in Heelys, be the first long distance travel distance on them. You know what? That reminds me of when I was a kid. Me and my sister had a thing where we were like, yeah, we should do long distance Heelying with like cross country ski poles and stuff like that. Oh, this looks interesting. We'll see what we got here. Oh, this guy looks like an interesting fellow. Hey, how's it going, my man?
Yeah, man. Where you go?
Just heading south. Whereabouts are you going?
I go to Sausalito.
So, how far is that?
Good. Sausalito is a 2-hour drive.
Wow, that's a long way.
Yeah,
if you could take me part of the way, that would help me out. Yeah. No, I'm recording the process of hitchhiking. This is a live stream, like video, audio. Is that something you're comfortable with in your vehicle? With you? No problem? Yeah, for sure. Bag in the back there?
One moment. Let me put the car more.
Yeah, for sure. We got a ride. Yeah, I'm sure. He seems like a nice guy. Nice guy. Oh, he's good. Wow. You got the whole setup back here. Alright. Bag on top of this, so that's all okay? Just throw her on. Just don't want to break anything.
No problem.
Perfect.
Okay.
Close. Oh yeah.
Sorry about this.
Oh, that's okay. I'm a hitchhiker.
Yeah, man. Why, you know, no? You eat some good after clean.
Yeah. No, thanks for grabbing me though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for somebody help me too. When I need it, I go to the street, man. I know many cars here.
Yeah. Alright, let's just plug this in. 1 second. What's your name?
Marcos.
Marcus. I'm Trevor.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So where are you? Sorry, you're going. What's the place you're going to again?
I go to Sausalito.
South Salito. And where are you headed there for? Is that home?
Huh?
Is
No, I go play.
Oh, you
I'm
play?
a musician.
Are you a solo musician or do you have a band?
Continue on US 101
Okay.
South for 123 miles.
So you have an event tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So do you travel around playing? Is that your job? Your career?
No, I do many jobs. Clean house, painted,
Yeah.
many things.
Many things, yeah. So this is your hobby, your kind of passion.
Huh?
Yeah. That's your like passion, your hobby,
Yeah.
playing your instruments, yeah. Do you sing too?
Sing too.
Yeah. Awesome. What's your band called?
Barrio Manush.
Sorry, one more time.
Barrio
Barrio
Manush.
Malush.
Manush.
Barrio Malush. All right. Because we've got about 20 people here watching as I'm hitchhiking. So
Yeah.
they can see me, they can see you. They talk. Yeah, they're saying, yeah, he's Jamaican. Promote his band. They asked me to promote your band, so you know. Do you have any music from your band in your car or anything?
Here, no.
No.
My band, no.
'Cause I'd be interested to hear some.
You travel a lot?
Yeah. The whole purpose of this trip is I've hitchhiked what you saw me doing in 25 countries. I've been picked up 700 times hitchhiking, and I wanted to show people, anyone that's interested.
I found that money. He is.
Oh, so you send money back home?
Yeah,
To Brazil, yeah?
Yeah, for children.
Four
family.
children?
No,
Oh.
I have 4 children.
You have 4 children. Yeah.
Both in Brazil, 2 children.
21 right now.
Your
Yeah.
friends. It's one life, you know, you need to do what you want.
Yeah.